In terms like rooster tail, whole shot, berm and monowheel, you probably think I've gone crazy. But I'm actually in the middle of the Brisbane Entertainment Centre here in Queensland for the FM 104 Supercross Masters. Behind me, Australia's and indeed America's best Supercross riders are battling it out for the big bucks on the dirt. And this is Armchair Motocross.
In the 5-year history of the Supercross Masters, only one Aussie has ever made the grade. That was Jeff Leask back in '82, and since then there's been the familiar case of the Cup going back to America. The Yanks were back in form and ready to serve a repeat dose when they lined up with our lads for the qualifying heats, but the Australian force included some pretty forceful riders. Queenslander David Armstrong, now with Kawasaki, set off an early warning to everyone when he cleaned up. He was backed up quickly by former junior champion Robert Scott from New South Wales with another Kawasaki victory in Heat 2. And he downed the Kiwi connection in Darren Henderson very early. Heat 3 was an all-Aussie affair, and the top-ranked Glenn Bell launched the YZ into battle with style and nailed the evening's first Yamaha victory. And the professor of local motocross, Stephen Gall, grabbed the set of bars for the first time since last August and promptly won his heat. None of the Americans got through for a win in the early heats, and only Flash Gordon Ward from California and reigning champ Jojo Keller made it to the final from the US contingent. The 4 Aussies that made up the 6-rider final included Gall, Bell, Armstrong, Dean Burt and Stephen Dinsdale. When the gate dropped, 16-year-old Victorian sensation Dean Burt bolted. He led Jimmy Deacon and David Armstrong, both of Queensland, under the bridge for the first time. Jojo Keller and countryman Gordon Ward both made ordinary starts and were behind the 8 ball from the beginning. Burt had the crowd screaming. The rookie had stunned everyone and seemed to be getting quicker and quicker. After the field settled down, Ward and Gall began a battle for 5th and 6th, and Jojo really began to make up some ground. By half-race distance, Glenn Bell had closed the gap on Burt. The Yamaha rider was able to make ground but couldn't find a way through. Time and again he prodded from behind but couldn't unsettle the leader. This allowed David Armstrong to close in, and that was everything the Queensland mob had hoped for. Bell started to get desperate. He was being pressured by Armstrong and would lose a spot if he didn't move. But out of the Mazda triple jumps, he blew it and threw the Yamaha away. This left the Kawasaki lads at the head of the field, but behind, another battle was brewing. Gall and Keller were locking horns and became so enthusiastic for each other, they simultaneously took a bite of Queensland. The boys were naturally tired, so it was a struggle to pick up the bikes. In fact, Gall considered sitting it out. Jojo didn't appreciate it. After the heavyweight diversion, Dean Burt grabbed the win, and that followed up from his 125cc class win. Not a bad act.
I was pretty tired and I didn't think I had enough stamina to make the final, but I did, luckily.
Placings were Dean Burt first on the Kawasaki, second went to Queenslander David Armstrong, and third was Gordon Ward.